Copy-pasting AI code usually leads to a wall of errors you can't debug. This is the specific workflow professionals use to ship small apps and automations without a computer science degree. No hype, just the logic. Welcome to Dry Run, where we test AI tools so you don't waste your afternoon finding out they don't work. Most people try to build an entire application in one prompt. They ask ChatGPT 5.1 for a full client dashboard and get back 400 lines of code that looks correct but fails on line 12. Since you aren't a developer, you don't know if the error is in the logic, the environment, or a hallucination. You spend 3 hours trying to fix one bug, and eventually you delete the file in frustration. The problem isn't the AI, the problem is your architecture. You're treating a powerful reasoning engine like a magic wand, instead of a junior developer who needs strict instructions. This leads to what developers call spaghetti code, a tangled mess where changing one variable breaks 3 other functions you didn't even know existed. By the end of this, you will have 5 repeatable frameworks for using ChatGPT 5.1 and Claude 4.5 to build functional Python scripts and web tools. You will know how to structure your prompts so the code works the first time, and you will have a reliable method for fixing errors without losing your mind. Number 1. The modular blueprint strategy. You avoid 90% of logic errors by forcing the AI to outline the architecture before writing a single line of Python. Here's the thing most people miss. ChatGPT 5.1 is far better at planning than it is at executing long-form tasks. Start by describing your goal in plain English. Ask the AI to generate a table of functions required for the script. This table must include the input, the expected output, and the specific purpose of that function. Do not ask for code yet. Review the table to ensure the logic matches your business process. Once you approve the blueprint, ask the AI to write the code for the first function only. You test that one piece, ensure it works, and then move to the next. This saves about 3 hours a week if you use it right because you catch flaws in the logic before they are buried in syntax. Takeaway: architect the solution in plain English before you commit to a single line of code. Number 2, the environment isolation protocol. You eliminate the most common source of failure by standardizing where your code runs. Skip the theory. Here's what actually works. Most non-devs fail because their local computer lacks the right libraries or versions. Use a 2026 standard container tool or a cloud-based IDE like Replit. When you start your prompt, tell ChatGPT 5.1 exactly which environment you are using. Say, I am running Python 3.14 in a standard Linux container. This forces the AI to provide installation commands that actually work for your specific setup. It prevents the dreaded module not found error that stops most side hustlers before they even begin. If the AI suggests a library, ask for the specific requirements.txt file entries immediately. Takeaway: control the environment to ensure the code the AI writes is the code your computer can actually execute. Number 3, the pseudocode validation loop. This makes the underlying logic transparent so you can spot errors without knowing the language. The honest answer is even the best AI models occasionally take shortcuts that break your workflow. Before the AI writes the final code, ask it to provide pseudocode. This is a step-by-step explanation of what the code will do, written in human language but structured like a program. For example, if you are building an automation to scrape LinkedIn profiles, the pseudocode should say, first, open the browser. Second, log in using these credentials. Third, find the search bar. If the pseudocode skips a step you need, correct it there. It is much easier to fix a sentence than it is to fix a nested loop in Python. Once the pseudocode is perfect, tell the AI to translate that exact logic into code. Takeaway: reviewing logic in plain English prevents the AI from overcomplicating the solution. Number 4, the error-first debugging framework. You find bugs in 10 seconds instead of 10 minutes by building diagnostic tools into your script from the start. Most tutorials won't tell you this, but AI-generated code is often silent when it fails. It just stops working. To fix this, your prompt must include a requirement for comprehensive logging. Tell the AI, include print statements for every major step, and use a try-except block for every API call. This means when the script hits a snag, it will tell you exactly where it happened. Instead of seeing a generic error, you will see a message saying, failed to connect to the database at step 4. You can then copy that specific error back into Claude 4.5. Claude 4.5 is currently the superior model for debugging complex logic because its reasoning window is wider than ChatGPT's. Takeaway: built-in logging turns a black box into a transparent process you can fix in seconds. Number 5, the documentation wrapper. You ensure your tools remain useful 6 months from now by forcing the AI to explain its work. Let me break this down plainly. You will forget how your script works 2 weeks after you build it. When the script is finished and tested, give it back to the AI. Ask for a README file that explains 3 things: how to set it up, what each variable does, and how to update the API keys. Use ChatGPT 5.1's 2026 documentation features to generate a comment for every single line of code. This isn't just for you, it's for the AI. If you want to add a feature later, you can upload this documented script, and the AI will understand the context immediately without breaking the existing foundation. This turns a one-off script into a long-term professional asset. Takeaway: documentation is for your future self and ensures your AI assistant stays on track during future updates. That's everything for today. If one of those saves you even 30 minutes this week, it was worth your time watching. To recap, start with a modular blueprint to avoid logic traps. Use environment isolation so your code actually runs. Validate with pseudocode before generating syntax. Build in error logging so you aren't guessing why things broke. Finally, wrap everything in documentation so you can scale it later. No fluff, that is exactly how you use AI to code when you aren't a coder. If this was useful, hit subscribe. We post every week, no filler. And drop a comment below. What is the one automation you've tried to build but couldn't get to work? I read every reply.